Guys, welcome back to another video. So here we have another reaction to the incel channel. And once again, I don't say that as a pejorative. I don't say that as an insult. I don't say that to rag on the guy or anything like that. The term incel, a lot of people, women and these fake alpha male guru guys, they use it like to say call you names and stuff like that and say like you're less than or anything like that. I'm not saying it in that way. I'm saying it in a way like you're a guy who falls under the umbrella of genetically cursed or genetically not desirable, whether it's facial symmetry, whether it's height, whether it's weight, whether it's your social skills. You fall under that umbrella. I'm not saying it like how these feminists or these alpha male guru guys use the word. Okay, so we're gonna see what's wrong with modern life from an incel perspective.
Modern life is designed to break you. And no, I don't mean that in a poetic, metaphorical way. I mean literally, your job, your relationships, your lifestyle, even your sense of self, all of it is set up in a way that's meant to drain you, in a way that makes you feel like you're constantly behind, constantly not enough, constantly stuck, and constantly not as good as other people around you. And if you feel that way, it's probably not your fault. We're all going through something like this. Aside from the top 0.001% of people in wealth and status, I guarantee you that we're all going through something similar like this. It's not just dysfunctional, it's intentional. On a macro level, it's almost like there's a system in place, some kind of weird partnership between corporations, government, and just the overall culture that's been designed to keep.
Yeah. Where do I begin where the problems lie? I'd say this life of comparing yourself to the other person, it's coming from social media and the internet. And you can't fall for that stuff. A lot of people on social media have dream relationships, dream cars, dream life. They're always on vacation, and while it's nice, it's nice for them. You don't know how they got it. Okay, uh, credit card debt, mommy and daddy's money, renting things out, or maybe it's legitimate and it's real, and they're doing good in life and they actually own that stuff. You don't know. But you can't fall for that stuff of comparing yourself to other people's lives and thinking that your life sucks. Um, I know it's easy to do that, especially with, you get on social media and you think like, oh, Stacy is on vacation. Oh, Ricky just bought a new car. Oh, Bobby, he's jacked and he's posted a fitness photo and look at me, I'm out of shape and stuff like that. It's easy to fall for that stuff, but you can't. You have to persevere, push forward, and look at that your competition is you. You want to be in competition with other people and strive for more, all that good stuff. Try to do good in life, all that stuff, but you're mostly in competition with yourself. And, I'm not going to say, strive to be like a little bit better than everybody. No, you should try to push forward and all that stuff and, achieve, but everybody has a different pace. Okay, everybody has a different pace, and don't fall for any of this crap online of people living glamorous, luxurious lives.
Keep you alive just long enough to milk your money and drain your life force in the process. Is it just me who feels that way, or have you kind of started to see the same thing too? I mean, something like that sounds extreme, but if you zoom out, I think that's exactly what it looks like. This system, if we should call it that, it's built for productivity, not people, for profit, not peace. And the craziest thing is that if you're not breaking under the weight of it all, then that probably means you're numbing yourself just enough to get by, and that's what they want. If you've ever wondered why you feel so disconnected from the world around you, why work feels so pointless, why dating feels like a rigged game, and why even basic happiness seems like something that's so difficult to achieve, you're not alone and you're not fucking crazy. The truth is that the world has changed, but we never got the memo. No one taught us that, and we find ourselves still trying to live out meaningful lives.
The world has changed, that is true, and today we have different problems than the problems that people did 100 years ago, 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. The truth is that life has never been easy, and everybody in their period in time went through something. All right, whether it was You got to protect yourself from animals and lions, tigers, bears. Oh my! You got to protect yourself from a conquering tribe. You got to protect yourself from a conquering army. Life for men has never been easy. You either had to go out and hunt or die. You had to go be in a war. You had to work at a coal mine, work at as a farmer. So life has always been hard. Okay, now today, with all of the decadence and all of the innovation and all of the advancements that we have, we say like, okay, we have all this good stuff. Why? But it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like we're achieving anything, and that's because even though people way back then had lions, tigers, bears, oh my, conquering tribes, and all that stuff, and they had to go explore and build. They at least had their people. You at least had a family, or you had close friends, or everybody was in the tribe, in the town was more united. And this is where diversity and unlimited immigration becomes a problem to the quality of life of the individual, because you go outside, you don't feel akin to your neighbor. And the corporations, they give you just enough to get by. They pay you just enough to get by, because the corporations want unlimited immigration and unlimited consumerism. So they bribe the politicians to basically give us word salad that they're going to do something and they never do. And because of this unchained immigration and all of this diversity, there's no unity, there's no social cohesion, and these corporations are allowed to not give you benefits, not give you pensions, not raise your pay, not really give you much more than your little 1 week holiday pay, and your little 50 cents increase in your hourly wage. They don't have to give you anything more than that, because they know that there is an unlimited supply of labor and an unlimited supply of consumers.
In a system that's quietly stripped away everything that used to make life meaningful. And while we're constantly told to just work harder and grind and hustle, the truth is that it's tough for most of us. If it were just myself going through this, I wouldn't have the arrogance to talk about this topic. It's only because I know that a lot of people, especially young guys my age, were feeling overwhelmed and just quietly wondering, like, is this all there is to life? And I think no one wants to say this kind of stuff aloud, because doing so feels like admitting defeat. But someone needs to talk about it. And I feel fine with doing that, because I don't see it as defeat. I see it as awareness, and awareness is the first step to breaking free. Because what we're up against isn't just a country, a corporation, or a culture. I can't even explain it, but it just seems like some kind of machine that's designed to keep you constantly tired, consuming, and distracted from what's really going on. I feel like the most obvious problem nowadays is work and your career. For one, even just getting a job nowadays, it's like playing a slot machine that only pays out if you have a master's degree and already 5 years of experience for an entry-level job. Some of the demands you see on job applications is just crazy nowadays. It's hyper-competitive, it's cutthroat, and thanks to AI, things are about to get even worse. It's already hard enough to compete with other people around you in a globalized economy, but soon it's not just going to be other people. You're going to be competing against robots too, machines that don't sleep, don't eat.
Well, I'm not really against AI. I think it's good, for us to move forward into the future, innovate more, and, see how well we can, uh, you know, innovate and develop. And, we could use the artificial intelligence for, our blind spots, like how to be more efficient in construction, how to be more efficient with weaponry, how to be more efficient with, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, the problem is surveillance. That would be the problem with AI. If the better AI gets, the more they can surveil us. And, basically, as a citizen, if you already feel like you're a cog in the wheel, they're gonna make sure, like, if you feel as a person that there's a flashlight above you at all times, because they have all our whereabouts, they have all our bank transactions, they have your Google location, all that stuff, right? They have, how many times you checked into the gym, how many times they have all of that, right? Um, AI is gonna help them like put you under like a magnifying glass. So I'm not 100% against AI for innovation and development, but I am against AI for surveillance.
Don't get sick, don't take days off, and don't require money to survive. If a corporation can cut costs and get the same efficiency or even better, why the fuck would they not do it? It seems like the job market is just evolving faster than we can adapt, and most of us are left scrambling to catch up if you're not like the top 0.1% of talent. But let's say you do go through all that hassle of applying to the job, and you do get it. Congrats, what's next? You get to work 9 to 5 for the next 40 years of your life while the government takes your taxpayer money and sends it to Israel, giving your entire life and your energy to a company that can just let you go without.
Okay, this kid's based. He knows more than he lets on. A lot of us on YouTube know more than we let on, but you gotta play the game right. You gotta play the whole like terms of service game. Yeah, there is a shadow government. A lot of people are still stuck on this red team, blue team, this Republicans and Democrats and liberals and conservatives. Like, yeah, there are, that both of them have different values and different interests and all that stuff, but there is a shadow government that basically puppeteers both sides. And that's good that he's up to date on that stuff.
Warning if they ever wanted to. But during the time that you are lucky enough for them to allow you to work for them, you spend your days doing tasks that just feel meaningless. Sitting in boring meetings, writing mundane emails, and overall just pretending to care about things you don't really care about, if we're being honest. Also, you can do what? Afford rent, food, a house, groceries, a Netflix subscription. It just becomes a cycle of living to work and working to live. But what's the point in all that? It feels like there's no dignity in it anymore. And unlike in the past, not even like a sense of stability. Again, the global marketplace is more competitive than ever, and companies have more reasons than ever to fire you without warning. The whole process of going through like a normal job and career, it just feels like endless resumes, endless rejections, and the looming fear of falling behind. But what's worse is that in the past, there was at least reason to justify living that way. They sold you the dream of a stable career with a pension and a paid-off house, but it's 2025 and it seems like that whole thing is a relic of the past.
Yeah, so this comes from this debt based system of usury, and basically what is ruining the system and making everything expensive, which is endless wars and usury and debt, is also like the same thing that's keeping it going. I know that sounds so like backwards. Like, how is it that the thing that's killing you is also keeping you alive? Yeah, so that's if we like for us to stop this debt based system, there would be a period of havoc. There would be like an adjustment period where everything's going to be a little bit shaky, a little bit rocky. There will be an adjustment period where people might be deleting each other and starving and stuff like that. But then we will create a new system and learn from past mistakes. Um, yeah, he made a good point there that, uh, you know, while people in the past were kind of in the same boat as us, they at least had a freaking house and a pension, and they at least had like homogeny, right? So yeah, I think that these are the problems: usury, unlimited immigration, shadow governments, pushing us into endless wars, and that's just affecting the quality of life of all of us. Even though things have never been super great for all humans throughout time, um, today with all the goodies that we have, it doesn't really feel that way. Just go outside. Everyone's overweight. Everyone doesn't say hi to each other. There's litter everywhere. You got to watch out. There's crime. Not in every single corner. It's not like an apocalypse when you go outside, but you will come across at least one of these things, right? You will come across some crime. You will come across disheveled people go outside like they don't care what they look like. You will come across, um, you know, uh, people that have alternate sexual lifestyles, and it's like, you know, um, where is the decency? Where is the class? Where is the, you know, where's the cohesion, right? Like, nothing makes me more happy than when I see like a beautiful family of the same race. Okay, when I see a beautiful mom and a beautiful dad with beautiful kids, they're all fit and they're all the same race. I love that. That's like something that just brightens up my day. Okay. Um, but and they're all like, you don't got to wear a suit and tie everywhere you go, but they all look nice. They're well dressed, and you know, like nothing like, but you don't see that as much. Even if you do see families, you see a big fat dad, or you see big fat kids, or you see a big fat wife, and you know, yeah, quality of life is going down, down, down.
In the past, most people worked normal jobs and lived normal lives, but they had something to live for, something deeper, a family, a relationship, neighbors and friends around you, a community, a nice little house in the suburbs with a white picket fence and all that. It wasn't necessarily glamorous, but it gave life structure, and it gave the average person something to live for, and something that they could realistically achieve within their lifetimes. But now, that vision is practically a fantasy. It's very hard to be just a normal person in today's world and succeed and be happy. Everything has changed. For example, with the prices nowadays, home ownership is out of reach for most young people unless you inherit wealth or get incredibly lucky. Starting a family feels like an impossible task when you're living alone or with roommates and rent takes up half your paycheck. Even if you do try your best to live the American dream of that previous era while working a normal job, it would cost so much to raise just one kid, let alone 3 or 4 like many families used to have in previous generations. But even dating, which is the starting point to get to all of that, has completely fundamentally changed.
I mean, it's not that kids are unaffordable, it's that women today just ask for too much, right? Like, if you were to tell the average woman, like, we can have multiple kids, but we got to live in a rural area. Um, we got to have to, cut back on going out and vacations, and we're going to have to consume less, and we're going to have to have more home cooked meals, and, we're going to have like hand me down, like the older brother hands down close to the younger brother, and so and so. And it is possible in a sense. We can't, we got to be in a nice uh, Toyota or I mean Honda, minivan and stuff like that. And you just got to cut back in so many things in life. There's not a lot of women that would go for that lifestyle. They want the whole nine, right? And they want to be able to show you off. Show off the ring and show off them going on vacations, and um, they fall a lot for the marketing of consumerism and flexing your life on the next person. So even if there's a lot of men, I think, that are willing to have like a simple life, I don't think that there's many women that want to have a simple life. Okay. They want, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of women that want to be married with children and the whole nine, but they want it uh like better than their friend Jen or their friend Stacy or their friend Karen or whatever. Like, I want that too, but better than I don't know, Jessica's life. I want a life better than Jessica's life. And it's like, so now you as a guy have to be this dancing monkey to provide all of this.
Back then it was simple. People dated within their communities. There were natural opportunities to meet people through things like friends, school, church, or just hanging around the neighborhood when people went outside and cities were walkable. But now, everything is digital. You see those graphs about how online dating has just skyrocketed in recent years? Relationships, something that used to be deeply meaningful to us as people, it's just been turned into a fucked up game. Swiping, ghosting, algorithms, ELO scores. What the fuck, dude? It's harder than ever to find someone who wants to build a future together with you, let alone someone you connect with on a deeper level. And dating is extremely tough, especially if you're a young guy in this era. It just feels like you're playing a game that's stacked against you. Dating apps have basically ruined everything. Sure, they've made it more convenient, but they've also made it way more superficial. Your face and your height are what you get judged on. And if you don't look a certain way, you're practically invisible. You can be a kind, thoughtful, intelligent person, but if your photos don't scream 6 foot tall with a chiseled jawline, Good luck. Good luck with that. And even if you do match with someone, the odds of it going anywhere meaningful are so slim. It seems like everyone's dating with one foot out the door already, and especially girls who have so many options on these dating apps. It's like trying to pick from a buffet. Everyone wants to keep their options open. Everyone wants to find the best person on paper instead of finding a person who's good enough and then trying to build the best relationship from that. So, long story short, we've gamified human connection, and in doing so, we've made it disposable. That's why more people are lonelier than ever, both guys and girls. That's why our mental health is worse than ever on a societal level. It's all just a system of endless short-term interactions. Cheap thrills, no depth, no commitment, just the next swipe. Everything is surface level, and it seems like we're losing the ability to connect with people in any real, lasting way. And part of it is because even the cultural messaging has shifted. A lot of people, but especially women nowadays, are encouraged to prioritize career and independence over everything else. Like, I want to be a boss babe. And that's fine if that's genuinely what you want to do. Like, no one's here to judge your life preferences. But if we're just being honest, it's led to a dynamic where relationships are seen as optional, even burdensome. And again, while some people might enjoy that freedom, I feel like a lot of us are afraid to admit it, but on a deeper level, we're craving something more. And that gives rise to the loneliness epidemic, as everyone likes to call it. It's so ironic that we're the most connected generation.
I mean, I have nothing to add to that little section of the dating. I mean, dating is screwed. Okay, there's tons of channels on this. 80% of the women are going for like a top 3% of guys. And then, you guys know the whole thing. Okay, you guys know the whole spiel. I don't have to like break it down anymore. But he's right. He's right. This whole like, I want to get married, but I also want an extravagant life. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Okay. Sometimes you got to get married and you got to live a simple life. And I think, once again, I think more men are willing to have that, to go down that path. And this doesn't mean that you don't try to move up in your career and you don't try to make more money and try to do better. But it just means that, don't have like, don't compare your life to like other people's lives, and be okay that you do have a simple marriage and simple life. And I think more men are willing to have that than women.
In history, but also the loneliest. You see the studies about people who say they feel like they're chronically lonely, and the numbers are only going up. Social isolation is really like a public health crisis, but no one's talking about it because no one wants to admit their problems. Because I feel like people think that's embarrassing to admit. But just being real, most people that I know live alone, work alone, scroll alone, and just aren't in relationships either, at least not long term. Me and my friends spend way too much time sending each other reels on Instagram, but even though we're technically connected through our phones, it's not genuine. And in general, just through social media, we find ourselves watching other people live their lives while quietly wondering why ours feel so empty. But the truth is that everyone's feeling empty, it's not just you. Even the ones who post how glorious their lives are on their stories and Facebook pages. And again, the lack of third spaces is another reason. Most people's lives nowadays are just condensed to you work, you go home, you scroll or watch Netflix or some shit. Cities aren't really walkable. It seems like everyone's in their own little bubbles. There's not too many socially acceptable places where you can just talk to people or just hang out or meet someone new. Everyone seems isolated and atomized. And then you wonder, why does life feel so hollow? But the answer is obvious. It's because we're not meant to live like this. But even if everything does seem to work out for you on the surface, like you have a job, you have a partner, you're planning for the future, how do you afford everything? Housing prices, like I mentioned earlier, are going insane. The cost of food is rising. I show this picture all the time, but I've seen eggs that are selling for like $18 at my local grocery store. And all this time, wages are barely budging. It's not like wages are increasing so much to make up for it. Most young adults today just will never be able to match the buying power of their parents. And meanwhile, every aspect of life is being turned into a payment plan right in front of our eyes. You don't buy a car anymore, you lease it. You don't buy a service anymore, you have to subscribe to it. Even when I go on Amazon, which is supposed to be for like one-time purchases, I see all these options for like subscribe and save, where they deliver that thing like every few weeks or something. You're being conditioned to normalize renting out your life, but there's no alternative, so you keep on paying. The system is rigged for dependency, and those big companies just make more and more money. money off of you. It's not like I can just use a flip phone instead of an iPhone. And the looming threat of all this is that, especially in a country like America, a single emergency, like a medical bill, it can set you back months, even years in some cases. So for many people, the idea of saving up for wealth, it feels like a joke. No matter how well off you are, if you're not in like the 0.1% of earners, you're essentially in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, it's hard to find actual joy and achieve your true potential in everything. No time for passion, no time for a dream, just time to go to work and scroll on social media. I feel like I've been...
Wow, what an amazing video. What an amazing breakdown. Yeah. The problem is it's coming from many different areas, okay? It's coming from the entertainment industry. It's coming from Wall Street. It's coming from Washington. It's coming from the investment firms. It's coming from the colleges. It's coming from the the colleges and the universities. It's coming from the the corporations, the corporate banks, the global banks, with this constant push for consumerism and division. They push consumerism and push division. Okay, which makes everybody hate each other. Everybody hate their life. That way they could divide and conquer. You guys already know this, and make it like impossible for you to own anything, but still have it like it's a possibility. Like, hey, if you keep trying, and while they all have us like keep on trying, keep on jumping, they're basically stealing the world, right? Taking everything. Anyways, guys, this is the video of Modern Life is Designed to Break You. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe. Go over there and check his channel out. It's a really great channel. I'll put the video in the description below. Yeah, and I mean, what's the solution? The solution is hang on to God as always. Never give up. Always keep pushing forward, and just understand that life has never been easy for any man in the history of time. Okay, today we're dealing with a different monster. But life has never been easy. Okay, yes, today we're in this divided, consumerist, Marxist, culturally poisoned society, okay, of obese, sensitive people. But if you weren't in this era, you'd be like in the conquest era, you'll be in the caveman era, you'll be in the agricultural era, you'll be in the industrial age, you'll be like, so it was never easy for any man throughout time, okay? So that doesn't mean that you cry and complain, all right? That means that you understand the problem, see what's going on, and adjust and keep pushing forward. Anyways, love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'm out.